Welcome, guys, to my first Smackdown review show. Cut me some slack. I've never written notes for a wrestling show ever and then went on to go review it. But I notice a lot. A lot of people don't really pay attention, or I mean, not pay attention, but like review SmackDown fully because I'm not sure if it's because it's 2 hours, if it's on Friday, or they just view Raw as like the main show because it's on every Monday night. SmackDown's the one that always switches. But I was not satisfied because a lot of people don't do like a full review show and give SmackDown the credit it deserves sometimes. And this episode of SmackDown I thought was actually awesome by the end. Like the main event segment turned it from like a good show to like a great show. I thought that main event segment was awesome. But we're gonna kick it off. The show opens up with a Bianca Belair promo. My favorite promos. Not at all. I'm being sarcastic, by the way. She comes out like she usually does, recaps what happened in her life all the time. But in this case, she recaps the War Games match. Thanks all of her teammates, then tells Damage Control with them, it isn't over. She's then interrupted by Damage Control, who noticeably come down without Bayley and Dakota Kai being the mouthpiece. Did I say that? A Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai being the mouthpiece, kind of signaling how like the group's going to be after like they turn on Bayley. Noticeably Bayley's not there. We're wondering where's Bayley. I was wondering too. We find out later. So she comes out, and I think the awesome thing about this was, as Dakota was talking, Io Sky was like screaming in Japanese, and Dakota Kai was translating for her. I'm not sure if she speaks Japanese. Maybe she does. Io would shout something, and then she would be like, Io said, you don't deserve another championship match. And then she ends up saying, Bianca, if you want a shot at Io, you're going to have to go through all of us. And then Bianca does her babyface verbiage. I'll take on all you one by one. Let me know time and place. You could get it. You could get it. And then Charlotte and Shotzi come out. Charlotte says she wants in. Shotzi then says, it looks like there's enough damage control to go around. And then they slide in the ring. They all fight. Dakota Kai. I said it again. Dakota Kai can't fight, so she's on the outside. It's a 3v3 in the ring. Babyfaces cleared the ring. And that is the end of that segment. And this, I hope this is not like the new Judgment Day, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, where every show opens like this and they fight and they do some version of a singles match with like all three people. I really hope not. Kind of looks like it's going that direction because I think we've already seen like 2 or 3 different versions of this. Next week, Charlotte's facing Asuka again. Another version of that. It's like every person is facing the different thing, and I think Io's gonna face Shotzi like the week after that. So hopefully that doesn't happen. So up next, Brawling Brutes music hits. Pete Dunne comes out alone. As Corey Grave notes, Butch is looking quite lonely these days. And then he's set to go on against Bobby Lashley after the commercial break. I was like, nice, unannounced match. Okay, Bobby Lashley, Butch, this should be pretty good. After we come back from commercial break, awesome backstage segment. Damage Control backstage, mad after taking the L in the open segment. They run into Bayley backstage. Io's mad. Asks Bayley where she was. Bayley says, if you guys told me, I would have been out there, but she didn't know. And as this is going on, if you're paying attention, you could see Dakota Kai with the look on her face like, oh shit, it was me that actually did not tell her she's responsible for her, but she didn't want anyone to know, so she kind of changes the subject as they're arguing. It was awesome. So Bayley was like, if I knew, I would have came out there. Dakota Kai in the back was like, oh yeah, so yeah, guys, so never mind. Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the match tonight. Bayley, you could go out with Kairi Sane tonight. So that's what she said. Yes. So Dakota said, Kairi can use some help tonight in her match against Bianca. You should help her. And then Damage Control walks off. Bayley stands there looking sad and confused. And then we go to the ring. Lashley, Butch. Lashley cuts a promo saying, I forgot the quote he said. He said something along the lines of, he called him a kid, like, you have a lot to do before you could be in the ring with me. I'm like, this guy's like is he not like a 15-year vet? He's been in WWE for almost 10 years too. So just completely try to fucking bury Butch like before the bell. The fans are cheering. They're like, yeah. This match was so ass backwards. Butch is fighting from under, Lashley constantly getting heat on him, but they're cheering Lashley. So I guess I might as well go into the match. So after Lashley cuts that promo, so Butch forms him, has him in the corner, fighting. Lashley pushes him off, hits him. The fans are cheering. They love Lashley. They don't hate Butch. I keep trying to call him Pete Dunne. It's like a force of habit. But Lashley was the babyface in this match, even though he was supposed to be the heel. And this match was so ass backwards. But overall, solid match. So Lashley has Butch in the corner, runs in the corner, gets bicycle kicked. And then Butch kicks him outside, goes out on the apron, does a backflip on him, goes back on the second middle rope, does another backflip on Lashley. And then we go into commercial break. We come back from the break. Bobby's in control, doing moves, looking like a likable babyface. The crowd's loving it. Montez and Dawkins outside being the best bro cheerleaders. People in the front row enjoying it. You're like, man, all these people like Lashley. He has all these friends. Everyone's cheering him. Butch is just by himself, by himself, like he tries to come back. Fans are like, yeah, like we like Lashley better. So Butch is fighting from underneath, has no friends. It's super backwards, but the crowd wasn't dead when he would fight back. And then in the end, Bobby lifts him up, gets scissor kicked, and then quickly recovers, spears him, and pins him. Fans are cheering. 1, 2, 3, yeah! Everyone likes Lashley. And even Cole, after the match, says, Butch has no friends. His direct quote was, when it comes to these two men, they have drastically different futures, it appears. And then he says Lashley has Street Profits and Butch has no Sheamus, no Ridge, basically saying he has no friends. I was like, God damn, bro. They're burying this guy, making him seem like a freaking loner. But there's more on that later. So then we had the Progressive Match Flow, War Games recap. And then we got the dapper Nick Aldis in the back looking over some sort of Smackdown contract. And then Heyman walks in, shines up the New York Jets fanatic belt, walks around the room almost befuddled, then turns to Nick Aldis and says if he invited Orton on SmackDown. Nick Aldis says, I did. Then says, in fact, he's looking to sign Orton exclusively to SmackDown tonight, which is what he was looking over. So now we know. Like, I love how they do like these subtle like things and we're like, oh, wait, what is that? And then like the answer later. Like either like right away later or later. So then Heyman looks around the room like he's confused or whatever, walks around in a circle, then asks if the tribal chief knows about this. And then Nick Aldis then looks at his laptop, says all communication, it says he did get the memo because Heyman said, like, where the fuck was the memo on this? Like, does Roman Reigns know about this? And then he says, yes, in this memo, it says all communications to Roman go through you. So consider this my communication. And then he even says, I will offer up the whole bloodline just to sign Orton. And then asks Heyman if what he'll do about it. And then Heyman's looking at him. And then he taps his phone, signaling he's going to make a call to Roman Reigns. Walks off. Awesome segment. I like these backstage segments. Triple H does a really good job with just like these backstage segments. Like sometimes backstage segment, there's people in the background that you have to pay attention to. There's like these small things. I like how he does that. So then after that, we have Butch backstage. Kayla runs out to him, asks him why Ridge walked off on him last week. Butch says he doesn't know. He doesn't care. It's not even about the Brawling Brutes. It's about him right now. Then Pretty Deadly walks up, says it's tough to see him like this. Don't feel bad, though. Being a bandit can help you find your own path. Even if that path, like your career, looks like a dead end. And then they both laugh. Ha 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 ha. And then Butch is like, shrugs, hits him, forearm. And then Pretty Deadly, it's a 2-on-1. They attack him. They throw him into a cart. And then Chris Elton Awesome. I laughed so hard. He screams, "You're alone! You're alone!" As Pete Dunne is on the ground. Butch, jeez, said it again. And then they walk off. Another small, nice backstage segment. God, this review's all over the place, bro. It's so hard to read off notes. I should just go off of memory. I like memory better. I actually might keep that in mind next time. We have another progressive match flow of Santos attacking Ray, explaining himself, that whole bibble babble, whatever. Santos is then in Gorilla with the beautiful Kathy Kelly. And then she asks, "Given your recent history, what can we expect from you in your match tonight?" Then Santos goes on to say, "Ray betrayed me, it's his fault," all that stuff, we know. And I like him better as a heel. He came out, he's actually getting a reaction now, because he attacked Ray. Everyone loves Ray, but he's so much better as a heel. When he's a babyface, it's almost like as uncomfortable as Miz being a babyface. Like, just seems like they're putting on an act and it's not who they actually are, Like, that's how I felt with Santos the whole time. Even when Ray won that title, I was like, man, I don't even think Santos looks that happy about this. Like, it looks like he's really putting on a front. It looked like that the whole time. But now he's finally embracing his true side, his heel side. After the commercial break, Joaquin comes out to a generic entrance, whatever. He's halfway down the ring when they come back from commercial break. LWO music playing. Joaquin did a springboard somersault over one side of the rope, over the post to the outside on Santos. Thought that was cool. Santos takes control, beats him up for a bit, and then Joaquin fights back, does a roll into a DDT. And then Santos cuts him off for the Phantom Driver for the win. It was just a nice, solid TV match. They gave Joaquin like some spots here and there. I thought it was gonna be like a job match. Like, I thought Santos was gonna beat him like pretty quick. He did beat him pretty quick, but he actually gave Joaquin quite a bit. Joaquin did like some springboards on the outside, had some offense on the inside, getting the crowd to fire him up a bit. I kind of hate it sometimes though when like the crowd's watching the match and then the babyface will be in the corner like, "Yeah, guys, fuck, give me some energy, whatever." I hate the pandering, especially when it's more than once in a match. Maybe once, you could actually get away with it, but when it's more than once, it's like, it's kind of cringe. I don't know, but yeah, but that was a nice match. And then after the match, Santos beats him up. Dragon Lee makes the save. Santos runs away and then tries to pull like he did on Carlito. Comes back, but Dragon Lee fights back, does his signature moves. The crowd cheering Dragon Lee. They love this guy actually now. It's nice to see. And it's a smarter audience. Let's take that into account. It's Brooklyn, New York's smarter wrestling market. They know what to cheer for. They know what to boo for. Except in that Butch match. But, I mean, you can't blame for cheering Bobby Lashley. He's the cool guy, big muscles, looks good, has friends, cool friends. Like, what's there to actually hate? What bad have they actually done? But Dragon Lee makes the save. And just seeing Dragon Lee make the save just makes me go back to that War Games match where I was like, man, like, that match should have been longer. It should have been a banger. And then, like, everything would have been better. But I'll take that one to my grave, honestly. That one just really bothered me. But now I'm bringing it up again. And then we cut to the back again. Just a quick thing. Nick Aldis on his phone. Then Logan Paul comes up to him. They shake hands. Aldis walks off. Then they say, "Paul is coming to the ring next at the top of the hour after commercial." And then we come back from commercial again. Adam Pearce walks into Aldis' office saying he's trying to sneak one over, signing Orton under his nose. And then Aldis is like, "What do you mean? You had him on Raw. You literally could have tried to sign him. Like, what's wrong with you?" I'm like, "True." And then Adam says, "You know what? I'll join you out there tonight." And then holds up a Raw contract. And Aldis has the Smackdown contract in his hand. Nice little shot they had there. And then Logan comes to the ring, says he has a question to everyone who stabbed him in the back, to the haters who preyed on his downfall. "Where are you now?" And then he does some more bantering, and then he says, "If you want the U.S. title, it's been on my junk, just like y'all have been since I got here," talking to all the superstars in the back. Announces he talked to Aldis and says there's going to be a U.S. title tournament to decide who's fighting for his title, presumably at Royal Rumble. I thought this was a nice idea because it's an 8-week build to the Rumble, so this tournament could go on for like 4 weeks, and then we have a 4-week build. to his match at the Royal Rumble, which I'm assuming is the next pay-per-view. He's not going to be fighting in December, I don't think. And in that U.S. title tournament, it's going to be Santos Escobar, Bobby Lashley, Karrion Kross, Dragon Lee, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, Kevin Owens, and an NXT superstar. And then after he announces U.S. title tournament, KO comes out. Big pop, they love KO in New York, whatever. Not big pop, but pop, whatever. I don't know why I said that. But KO comes out, says Logan Paul's a nightmare, says he saw him on Vine 10 years ago, and that it only took 6 seconds to figure out why he's an unbearable jackass. Buries his drink, even though it's good. Logan says, you're a prize fighter, but I've been in the ring with the biggest boxer in the world. And you're talking about 6 seconds, but it'll only take 5 less than that, so 1 second for me to KO you. KO says, that's the outside world, but in this world, in this ring, this WWE ring, this is my world. And then the best music in the business hits, the best music in WWE at least, to my knowledge. Maybe there's one better. Grayson Waller's music hits. He comes out with Austin Theory. Michael blurts out, it's the 2 attention hogs again. And then they talk shit. Austin Theory gets hit in the face. KO and Logan have a stare down, almost basically telling us, KO's probably going to win this fucking tournament. And if not, even though I think he will, because this match is going to be at the Rumble. If KO doesn't win this tournament, I can see him making to the finals and Logan Paul costs him. And then they have another match, like maybe at Chamber. But I think it's going to be him at Rumble. But it would be actually a good idea if maybe not Dragon Lee. I don't want Dragon Lee losing to Logan. And all the other people are heels, so it has to be a babyface that wins. It can't be Santos. Santos might lose to Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee might get his win back. Because, so that's a match they announced also. Santos versus Dragon Lee. First round matchup in this title tournament. I could actually see Dragon Lee, rolling him up and winning, because can't be heel versus heel. And, almost everyone in this tournament is a heel except for Kevin Owens and maybe the NXT superstar, whoever that is. Yeah, it's literally, all heels. It's Kevin Owens and Dragon Lee, so it had to be either or. Don't think it's going to be Dragon Lee because he's got his thing going on with Santos, so it has to be Kevin Owens. So Kevin Owens is probably going to win that, and they're going to have that match at Royal Rumble, which should be a good match, good build. Got 8 weeks for that. That's pretty cool. So Kevin Owens and Waller have a good TV match. Waller targets his hand the whole time, his punching hand that he used to punch them both. Logan Paul on commentary says KO likes to punch people in the face. Maybe he should punch himself in the face with both hands. Thought that was funny. And then says he considers him Otis on a diet, which I thought was funny too. And then Corey says he was inspired by Logan talking in the ring moments ago. And then Cole asks if they're not inspired by Kevin Owens, who's in the ring fighting back with his hand hurting right now. And then Logan goes on to say he inspires him to go to McDonald's. And then they all laugh. I thought that was funny. Just 3 funny verbiages. And that was in the second half. I skipped the first half of this match until after commercial. And then Waller puts Kevin Owens' hand in the bottom turnbuckle, goes to kick it. Kevin Owens moves out of the way, rolls him up, pins him. And something I love, this is just like a wrestling thing I love, is when someone gets a roll-up pin on somebody. Mostly we see it like people getting a shock win, surprise win on someone they're not supposed to. But when they get the roll-up win and then they roll out of the ring vest and the other person chases them and reaches, but then they're already out of the ring and they just miss them. I always love that shit. So that happened here with KO. KO being a smart baby face, knowing that there's 3 heels around the ring. He's hurting. I'm not going to fight him. So get my win, get out. Smart baby face. Doesn't want to look like an idiot. Awesome. So yeah, he's like, I'm not going to let them fucking kick my ass. Hell no. I'm getting the win and getting out. And then after that, we have a CM Punk War Games return, recap, whatever. And then they announce he will be on Smackdown next week on the Tribute to the Troops episode of Smackdown. Bianca comes out for a match with Kyrie next after commercial. Bianca comes out for her match, and then we go back to commercial, and then after commercial, Damage Control's backstage and Gorilla. All the Damage Control's hyping up Kyrie like, you got this. Camera pans over to Bailey with her hands in her pocket, just looking so sad. Dakota Kai, I said it again. Dakota Kai turns over, notices Bailey's sad, asks her if she's okay. Bailey's like, yeah, whatever, it's okay. And then Io just pops in the camera, goes like, you, Bailey, you stay here tonight, like, as in backstage. And then, like, they all go out. Dakota Kai playing it so smooth, knowing she's the mastermind behind Damage Control turning on Bailey, but she's playing along. She's the master puppeteer right now. And I love these small segments. And this segment, actually, I'm going to wait till after the match before I talk about this. So, they're having the match. Bianca runs. Wait. Okay, so they're having the match. Bianca runs against the rope. Asuka trips her when the ref's not looking. And then 10 seconds later, Kyrie runs against the ropes on the other side. Charlotte trips her as the ref is looking. Like, trips her right in front of the ref. I'm like, damn, Charlotte, you can't be discreet about that. And then they get ejected. Then right as they get ejected, the ref's like telling him to go back. He's staring at them. Asuka gets in the ring, is about to do something to Bianca. The ref turns. Asuka's like, acts like she's not doing anything, walks away. And then the ref's like, no, you're in the ring. You outside, you're all leaving. I'm getting all you guys out here. So that's something I forgot to mention. Everyone brought out all their friends for this match, and now they all got ejected. So now it is a fair one-on-one match. So Bianca and Kyrie having a good, solid match. They're outside. Bianca rolls her back in. And then as the ref is checking on Kyrie, Bianca is on the apron. Bailey comes out of nowhere, pulls Bianca's ponytail, yanks her down. She drops on the apron. And then Kyrie gets up, looks at Bailey. They're doing the thumbs up like, yeah, you got this. And then Kyrie takes forever. Oh my God. Hold on, my HDMI came out. There we go. And then Kyrie takes forever to go to the top ropes, forever and ever. And she's there, she's signaling she's about to do the elbow. Everyone's like, we fucking know, buddy, just fucking do it. And she takes so long. Bianca gets up, hits her on the top ropes, puts her into the KOD position and pins her. And this just gonna be used as another excuse to blame Bailey, like, you shouldn't have been out there. Even though Bailey did help her, Kyrie just took forever. But they're heels, they're gonna blame it on Bailey, even though Bailey did nothing wrong. And I really love this storyline now. Like, the week before, or I mean, it was like 2-3 weeks ago when they were doing like the thing where Damage Control was basically taking over the show, attacking everyone, making them look dominant when they close off like the show. And now seeing these small things with Bailey, like from the War Games match, which is doing everything, saving everyone, trying to make sure they didn't lose, but they still lost. She's the one that got pinned. All of her teammates on the other side of the ring just laying there. She gets 4v1. She gets pinned in that War Games match. And then had great intentions in this match. Didn't do anything wrong. Put Bianca on a silver plate for Kyrie. Kyrie didn't get the win, but they're still going to blame Bailey because she's going to be like, I told you to go backstage and stay back there. But they're now, like, Bailey went from, like, being, like, a heel, like, she's an annoying heel, to, like, being a person who's relatable, the likable traits, like, the way, like, all four of them backstage are, like, kind of giggling and she's kind of off. Like, that's a relatable storyline for girls, like, in school or, like, just in life, like, like, sometimes when you fucking feel out of the group, you feel like you're doing, like, your best, or, like, a new person comes to the group and like you're slowly getting excommunicated out in these small ways, like they're whispering behind your back. Like, this is great storyline for everybody, not just girls, but like may relate to girls more, but like just in general, it's like a believable real life storyline. Doesn't feel hokey, like very relatable. They're doing it at a great pace too. We're gonna be seeing big things with this at the Royal Rumble, I'm assuming, or weeks leading up to a Royal Rumble. But doing a very good job of slowly turning Bailey to a babyface, being someone we like more. Even on commentary, Corey Graves and Michael Cole are like, well, I mean, like, she didn't do anything wrong. Like, she like actually tried to help, but like, just didn't work out. Like on commentary, they're even like telling people, like they're even putting it in our brains now. She's a more Like, she's trying, like, she's being a good person, but it's just not working out. She has the best intentions, and I just think that storyline is great. I don't know, like, awesome. And then that was the end of that. And then they announced Tribute to the Troops next week. It's going to be Dragon versus Santos. First round matchup in the U.S. title tournament. Also, Karrion Kross versus Lashley next week. First round of the same tournament. And then Charlotte versus Asuka again next week. And then CM Punk also for next week. And then time for the main event segment. So that Bianca Kyrie match was the main event match, as you guys know. Now we have Aldis. So even like before this, it shows Aldis and Adam Pearce walking side by side, holding their Raw and SmackDown contracts. Aldis kind of glances over to Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce not even looking at him, straight walking. Awesome. They're walking to the ring. Like, where's Orton gonna sign up next? So they go commercial. They come back. Aldis and Pearce in the ring. Aldis announces Orton. Orton comes out looking tall and jacked. Fans love him. Fans are going crazy. Hits his pose. The camera pans to like this awkward guy in the crowd doing his pose. So bad. Doing the Walmart version of his pose. But so then Orton comes out. Aldis and Pearce are talking over each other, trying to bribe Orton. Adam Pearce is like, you know what? You could have the winner of Seth and Jey Uso for the world title. And then Aldis is like, I'll do you one better. I will give you every member of the bloodline. And then after he says that, him and Orton are face to face. And then as they're face to face, Orton's like very intrigued, like, oh, that's what I really want. It's almost like this segment felt like two humans holding like a piece of meat and they're trying to like bribe a dog. And then one person maybe puts like a dog treat on like their piece of meat and the dog's like, you know what? He doesn't say anything, but he's like, I probably like that one better. Then as Orton and Aldis are face to face, we hear, ladies and gentlemen. The fans pop. They know it's Heyman. This smart audience or this smart market of wrestling fans, they love Heyman. So Heyman comes up, ladies and gentlemen. And then he says, ladies and gentlemen, things that live in Brooklyn. They boo him. And then right away he goes, my name's Paul Heyman. They start doing it with him again. So trying to get cheap, he did work. And then he goes on to tell Orton, you don't want to be on SmackDown. I would take that Raw contract if I were you. And then threatens him. And then next thing you know, Solo Sikoa and Jey Uso come out. And then they come onto the ring. They slide right in. Orton meets Jey Uso, starts stomping on him, starts fighting him. There's two of them. Eventually, they get him down. They're stomping on him. I hear like a very faint LA Knight chant. And you know what? I was thinking the whole show, I was like, fuck, this Orton SmackDown segment's going to be the main event. Kairi Sane, Bianca come out. I'm like, damn, LA Knight's on the show. That's fucking tough. And then once I saw Jay and Solo attacking Orton in the ring, I was like, oh my god, I forgot he's still in there. I was like, man, he's not gonna be on the show. That's horrible. But okay, now I'm rambling. But Solo and Jay in the ring stomping on Orton. LA Knight's music plays. I swear this had to have been like an Attitude Era level pop that he got. Like, his music played. And this place, I swear, it was like when Stone Cold came back to help the fucking WWE against like the WCW and like the Invasion. Like when the WWE is getting swarmed in the ring and then Stone Cold's music hits, he starts in the back room and then he comes into the ring and the fucking place just... This literally almost felt like that. Not quite though, because I think Stone Cold's still top when it comes to like those reactions. Because when his music hit, bro, it was like a fucking earthquake. But LA Knight's music hit. Big fucking pop. He fucking comes running down, hits him every hit. Yeah. Then Solo runs towards him, pulls down the rope. Classic. I don't know why he didn't just hit him and throw him out. Would have looked a lot more badass. And then he's throwing Solo against the barricades. Fans are chanting, yeah. And then they go off to the back. He fights him to the back. And then Orton has Jay in the ring, throws him on the apron. Just the DDT, boom, fans loving it. And then RKO, he's standing there. Then he does the turn. He's stomping on the ground with his hands. RKO's him. Jay's just fucking laying dead in the ring. And then the fans are cheering. Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce outside holding their contracts. Orton goes up to the side of the ring, asks them both to give him his contracts. And then he's holding the Raw and the SmackDown contract. And then all of a sudden, in his right hand, he throws that Raw contract behind him outside over the ring. Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce are looking to see which contract that is. And then they see it's the Raw one. Adam Pearce turns his back to Aldis. Does he want to see how happy he is? Just hands on his fucking wayside, just looking away. Nick Aldis so happy. Orton signs the SmackDown contract, drops it on Jey Uso. Nick Aldis pumping his fist, like, yeah. Goes in the ring, holds Orton's hand up, and then Orton RKO's Nick Aldis. Is like, whoops, I'm sorry. Fans are cheering. Awesome. He's on the ring post, fucking posing, everything. Bro, this main event segment was awesome. Usually I don't know what. Usually, I'm not going to say usually I'm not interested, but like sometimes when they do these main event talking segments, I'm like, sometimes they're just like too generic, too by the book, like the same thing over again. But this one was awesome. So awesome. Everything from the LA Knight saved, even like the before. I thought it was super awesome how Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce were like trying to talk over to each other, trying to like get Orton's signature to sign because he's a hot commodity. He's a free agent. And, dude, I just thought it was awesome. And after that main event segment, going off air, Orton posing, I was like, man, now we could expect like Orton and LA Knight versus like the Bloodline, even though we just had like the exact same thing, but like John Cena and Orton's spot. But I'm excited for this. Keeps LA Knight in the main event picture. I just thought it was an awesome show. Progressed a lot of storylines with some solid wrestling. A lot of times I complain they do too many video packages when they could use like that 5 minutes to like throw like 2 good wrestlers in the ring and have a good match. Almost like they do with like Dragon Lee and Cedric. Like just throw 2 guys in the ring, have them have a good match for 5 minutes instead of doing video packages. But overall, I thought it was an awesome episode of SmackDown. Really awesome. We have a U.S. title tournament to look forward to. When they announced the superstars in that U.S. title tournament, I'm like, man, SmackDown has a lot of solid male superstars. Like, awesome. Like, these rosters are actually looking like bulky now. I kind of wish around Survivor Series they would actually do like more of like a Raw SmackDown thing, because now they got like actual like good solid rosters, people on both rosters. And I'm thinking now that Orton signed to SmackDown, CM Punk, at some point in time, Adam Pearce will sign to Raw and be like, haha, I got you back, I don't think CM Punk's going to be a free agent forever. I think he's going to go more on Raw because he has Seth Rollins and everyone on that show he has to deal with. They're not going to put him near Roman Reigns yet. So he could be on Raw for now, and then they have like the draft. They usually have like the draft like sometime around Mania. So it could all work out. So I think Orton's going to be on SmackDown, CM Punk's going to go on Raw. Overall, I thought it was a great show. Like, great show, flowed very well. There's some good wrestling. I love good backstage segments, and there's good backstage segments on this. Advancing a lot of storylines. There's 8 weeks until the Rumble. They got time. It was a good first week. Second week's gonna be even better. Advance the U.S. title tournament. We're gonna see some more things with damage control going forward. We're gonna see what happens with Orton, the Bloodline, LA Knight. Very exciting times. And Roman Reigns back on like December 15th, I believe, is his first appearance back. So in 2 weeks. So after this next week, after Tribute to the Troops, he's already back. We'll see how that plays into going to the Royal Rumble. So a lot to look forward. A very nice episode of SmackDown. It's a lot easier when it's 2 hours, flows, like edited at a perfect time. I was like, man, if there's another hour on this would probably be like a bit too much. But awesome show. Awesome show. With that being said, hope this recap was not too bad. First time reading notes. I'm probably going to write less notes and go more off like my brain, because like it's a lot easier for me. But I wrote a lot of notes for the show. I was like, damn, people actually do this. But hopefully it was not too bad. With that being said, this is Eric Menza. Toodles!